All right, so today we're going to be diving into this idea of the compound effect.
Okay, sounds good.
It's basically, you know how like small actions, little things you do every single day can like snowball into huge results over time.
Right.
It's like, you know when you see a snowball rolling down a hill?
Oh, yeah.
And it just seems to grow exponentially?
Yeah. Picks up everything along the way.
And that's kind of the compound effect.
I see, yeah.
And in this deep dive, we're going to be looking at Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect.
Oh, good.
And Darren Hardy, he's pretty impressive, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's a self-made entrepreneur.
That's right.
Success mentor, and was the publisher of Success magazine.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of that.
He was even on that show.
I know what you're going to say.
The Prophet.
Yeah, he was on The Prophet. I've seen a few episodes of that.
So we're really looking to him as our guide.
Yeah, makes sense.
For this topic.
Definitely. He seems to know what he's talking about.
And what I think is so interesting about his approach is he doesn't promise these like quick fixes or magic formulas.
Right.
He's all about like
I like
consistent effort over time.
Absolutely. Like slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about finding some secret hack or anything like that.
Right.
It's about understanding that like even those small choices we make every day, the ones that seem insignificant.
The little things, right.
Those can actually like determine our success.
Yeah, long term.
Or our failure in the long run.
It's crazy how that works.
Right, really is.
Like you wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Hardy actually uses this really powerful analogy to explain this.
Okay.
So think about a plane flying from Los Angeles to New York.
LA to New York, got it.
If the pilot's off by even 1 degree, just a tiny little error, they could land hundreds of miles away.
Whoa, seriously? From where they were supposed to go.
That's wild.
It's pretty crazy, right?
That is wild. I never really thought about it like that.
So even a tiny miscalculation can have these huge consequences.
Yeah, huge consequences.
That's a long run.
So it's like with our lives too.
Exactly.
Our choices each day.
Yeah.
Like even the ones that seem super small can just gradually steer us in a totally different direction.
Yeah, like a completely different destination than we planned.
Than we intended. Exactly.
So how do we make sure those small choices are actually leading us?
Yeah, that's the question.
In the right direction.
That's what I want to.
Like, how do we actually do that?
Yeah.
And that's where I think Hardy's insights are really, really valuable.
Okay, I'm interested to hear more.
Because he breaks it down into actionable steps.
Okay.
So one of the first ones he talks about is starting small. It's not about making some huge, drastic change overnight, right?
Yeah.
It's about finding one small, positive thing that you can do today.
Okay.
And sticking with it.
Got it.
Consistently.
I like that. It sounds doable.
It is doable.
Yeah.
It's not like this big.
You're not overhauling your life.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming.
Exactly.
And you know what?
Good.
This is something I've been trying to do myself.
Oh, really?
I used to hit the snooze button every morning.
Oh, I know that feeling.
So what I've been doing is setting my alarm 15 minutes earlier and using that time to meditate.
Wow, that's great.
It's a small change.
Yeah.
But I'm already noticing a difference in my focus and my stress levels.
That's so important.
Throughout the whole day.
That's a great example.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's just finding something that's manageable.
Right, exactly.
That you can like fit into your routine.
Yeah, make it a habit.
Yeah, without feeling overwhelmed.
I think that's key. Not feeling overwhelmed.
Because if it's too much, then you're not going to do it.
Exactly. You'll just give up.
Exactly.
So consistency is key.
Yeah.
Those little repeated actions
Yes.
create that effect over time.
Yes.
That compound effect.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It all adds up.
And Hardy also talks about understanding your why.
Your why. Okay.
Like, why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah, what's the point?
Like, what's the deeper purpose behind your goals?
Yeah.
Having that clarity can be really motivating.
Absolutely.
Especially when things get tough.
Because you know why you're doing it.
Exactly, because you know why you're doing it.
If you don't, it's easy to just quit.
Yeah, you're like, why am I even doing this?
Exactly.
But if you know your why,
you're
like, okay, this is why I'm doing this.
It's like your compass.
Yeah, it's like a compass.
It keeps you pointed in the right direction.
Exactly.
Even when there's like roadblocks.
Yeah, even when things get tough.
Yeah. It's about connecting your daily actions to a bigger vision.
Right, to that purpose.
A sense of purpose.
That's powerful.
It's powerful.
It is.
And it gives your effort meaning and helps you stay focused.
Absolutely.
So another crucial step that Hardy talks about is tracking your progress.
Okay.
It's about like becoming aware of your habits and decisions so you can actually see where you can improve.
I see.
He suggests using something as simple as a notebook to track your daily choices.
Yeah, write it down.
Write it down.
Old school.
It sounds basic.
Yeah.
But
it works.
It works, and it makes you more conscious of what you're actually doing.
You're thinking about it more.
Yeah, you're thinking about it more.
It's not just automatic.
You're not just on autopilot.
Right.
Yeah.
And the act of writing it down makes you confront it.
Makes you confront it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, I really did do that.
Yeah, you can't deny it.
You can't deny it.
It's right there in black and white.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's a way to hold yourself accountable.
Absolutely.
And make those adjustments.
Yeah, as needed.
As needed.
Make changes.
And it's like shining a light on those blind spots.
I like that. Shining a light on those blind spots.
Like those habits that...
Yeah, the things we don't realize we're doing.
We don't even realize.
That are holding us back.
We're doing that or holding us back.
Exactly.
And by actually tracking our progress, we can see how those small changes are actually adding up over time, which can be really encouraging.
It's like, oh, wow, look at this.
Yeah, you're like, oh, look, I actually did it.
It shows you it's working.
It's actually working.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
It's motivating.
And it's really motivating.
It is.
So it's all about creating this feedback loop.
I see.
Where you're constantly monitoring what you're doing.
Your actions, yeah.
And making those adjustments as needed.
As needed, exactly.
All right. So this brings us to another really fascinating concept that Hardy talks about.
I'm intrigued.
And it's this idea of momentum.
Momentum.
And he compares it to Newton's first law of motion.
Oh, interesting.
Which is... an object in motion tends to stay in motion.
It wants to keep going.
It wants to keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same...
I see where you're going with this.
With our lives, right.
Yeah.
Once you start making those positive choices, taking those positive actions, it actually becomes easier to keep going.
It does. It's like you're overcoming...
It's like you're overcoming inertia.
Inertia, yeah.
Yeah, like it's that initial push.
It's that first step.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part.
Once you get going...
And then once you're going... It's like...
It's easier to keep going.
Oh, okay, I can do this.
Right, exactly.
It makes me think about how hard it is...
Oh, yeah.
...to start exercising when you haven't been active for a while.
Tell me about it.
Right.
Yeah, it's so hard.
But once you get into that routine... It actually becomes easier...
Right.
...to stick with it.
Your body craves it.
Yeah, your body craves it.
Yeah, it's weird how that works.
It's like, it's used to it now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like your new normal.
It's the new normal. Yeah. And it's the same with any positive habit or goal.
That initial...
It's that initial push.
Yeah.
That might feel hard.
Yeah.
But as you build that momentum...
As you get going...
It becomes more automatic.
Yeah, it becomes easier.
And it requires less willpower.
Way less willpower.
To stay on track.
You're not fighting yourself so much.
You're not fighting yourself so much.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It does. Okay, so we're back, and we're talking all about the compound effect with Darren Hardy. Still going strong.
And I gotta say, this whole idea of momentum is really sticking with me.
Oh, yeah, it's powerful stuff.
So how do we actually build it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And how do we keep it going?
Especially when things get tough.
Exactly. Because life isn't always smooth sailing, right?
Absolutely not.
So Hardy actually gives some really practical advice on this.
Okay, I'm all ears.
One of the things he talks about is setting realistic goals.
Oh, okay.
It's so easy to fall into that trap of wanting to change everything at once.
Yeah, like a complete overhaul.
Yeah, and you set these huge, massive goals.
And then you get overwhelmed.
And then you just burn out.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster.
It's like setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
Like, I've definitely been there.
Oh, me too.
New Year's resolutions, anyone?
Oh, don't even get me started.
By February, they're long gone.
Gone and forgotten.
So Hardy's approach is more about
Yeah.
making those small incremental changes,
okay.
focusing on those tiny manageable steps that you can actually fit into your life.
Right. It has to be doable.
It has to be doable.
Otherwise, you're just not going to do it.
You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's like instead of trying to run a marathon tomorrow,
right.
maybe just start with a 15-minute walk each day.
Yeah, just get moving.
Just get moving.
Ease into it.
Just something small.
I like that.
Make it so easy. You can't say no.
Make it a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I like that.
It reminds me of that quote,
Oh.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
It's so true.
It is.
It's all about starting small and building from there.
Building that foundation.
Building that foundation.
Yeah.
And another key factor in building momentum is
tell me.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Okay. And it's actually more important than intensity.
That's interesting.
It's not about having the perfect workout.
Right. It's not about being perfect.
Or the most productive day ever.
It's about showing up.
It's about showing up.
Every single day.
Even when you don't feel like it.
Ugh. I know, those are the hardest days.
Those are the tough ones.
But those are the days that matter.
But those are the days that really count.
You do.
Because you're building that consistency.
Building that habit.
Building that habit.
Yeah, I get it.
So for me, it's like with exercise.
Oh, yeah.
Days I just don't have the energy.
I feel that.
For a full-blown workout.
I've been there.
But I know that even a short walk or just some stretching is better than nothing.
Way better than nothing.
Way better than nothing.
It all adds up.
And it keeps that momentum going.
Yeah, it keeps you moving forward.
It keeps you moving forward.
And it stops you from getting discouraged.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't do anything today.
Yeah, you don't want to fall off track.
Right, exactly.
And those small, consistent efforts, they might seem tiny.
Insignificant, yeah.
But they add up.
But they add up.
Over time.
That's the beauty of it.
They create that ripple effect.
The ripple effects.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Hardy also talks about celebrating those small wins.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
It's so easy to get caught up.
I know, you get focused on the end.
The big goal.
Yeah.
And you forget to
celebrate the little things.
Celebrate the little things.
Yeah.
But recognizing those small milestones can be so motivating.
It gives you that boost.
It gives you that boost.
You keep going.
To keep going. It's like those little dopamine hits.
Oh, yeah, dopamine.
That keep you wanting more.
Dopamine's good.
Dopamine's good.
It is.
It's like a reward.
Yeah, it's like a little reward.
For staying on track.
It feels good.
It feels good.
It does.
Okay, so let's be real for a second.
Okay, let's get real.
Setbacks happen.
Oh, yeah, they definitely happen.
We're all going to have days where we don't feel our best.
We're human. We're human.
It happens. We might slip up.
We make mistakes.
We make mistakes.
Yep.
Life throws us curveballs.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So how do we handle those moments?
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Without losing all our momentum.
Without giving up completely.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
So Hardy's perspective on this is really interesting.
Tell me.
He says we should actually view those setbacks not as failures, but as feedback.
As feedback. Oh.
That's an opportunity to learn.
To learn from your mistakes.
And to adjust our approach.
So it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
It's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
Like that.
So instead of beating ourselves up.
Oh, yeah, we're so good at that.
Over a missed workout.
Or a bad day.
Or a less than productive day.
Yeah, we've all been there.
We can ask ourselves, okay, what can I learn from this?
Yeah, how can I do better?
How can I do better next time?
Exactly.
It's about being kind to ourselves.
Yeah, self-compassion.
Yeah.
It's important.
And understanding that progress isn't always linear.
It's not a straight line.
It's not a straight line.
It's messy.
It's messy.
There's bumps along the way.
There's bumps along the way. It's like a winding road.
I like that analogy.
And Hardy also points out that momentum works both ways.
Both ways?
Yeah. So just as positive actions compound over time, so do negative ones.
Oh. So like bad habits.
Yeah, like bad habits.
They can compound too.
We can compound too.
Oh, that's scary.
If we're consistently making those unhealthy choices.
Right.
Or procrastinating on our goals.
Not doing what we need to do.
Yeah. It creates this downward spiral.
Oh no, a downward spiral.
Yeah.
It's like that snowball.
It's like the snowball in reverse.
But in a bad way.
But in a bad way.
Yeah, it's picking up all the bad stuff.
Yeah, it's picking up all the bad stuff.
I get it.
And it's pulling us further away from where we want to be.
From our goals.
From our goals.
That's a good point.
It's so important to be mindful of our choices.
And our habits.
And our habits.
Yeah.
Are they supporting our goals?
Are they helping us?
And our well-being?
Or are they hurting us?
Or are they secretly sabotaging us?
That's a good question.
It's a big question.
It is.
And another crucial factor is our environment.
Our environment, okay.
Hardy talks about surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
Oh, I like that.
Whether it's the people we spend time with.
Yeah, the people around us.
The information we consume.
What we read, what we watch.
The physical spaces we inhabit.
Our homes, our workplaces.
It all matters.
It all makes a difference.
It all makes a difference.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, for example, if you're trying to eat healthier, having a pantry full of junk food might not be the best environment.
Not the best idea.
Yeah, not the best idea.
It's setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, temptation is everywhere.
Temptation is everywhere.
It's hard to resist.
It's so hard to resist.
Yeah, so create an environment.
Create an environment that supports you.
That supports your goals.
That supports your goals.
Yeah.
And the same goes
for the people around us.
For the people we surround ourselves with.
Yeah, are they lifting us up?
Are they supportive?
Or bringing us down?
Are they bringing us down?
That's important.
It's so important.
It is.
Now, we've been talking a lot about momentum.
Yeah, momentum.
But it's not just about mindless action.
Right.
We need to make sure that our momentum
somewhere
is actually directed towards a meaningful purpose.
I see. So it's not just about being busy.
It's not just about being busy.
It's about being busy, doing the right things.
Doing the right things.
The things that matter.
The things that matter.
I like that.
Hardy's a big proponent of aligning our actions with our values and our goals.
Our values and our goals.
So it's not enough to just be busy.
Right. You could be busy doing nothing.
We need to be busy doing things that actually matter to us.
Things that are important.
It's like
running on a treadmill.
You're going nowhere.
You're putting in all this effort.
You're working hard.
But you're not actually going anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
It is. It's a good analogy.
You're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah, you're just spinning your wheels.
So momentum without purpose is like a ship without a rudder. A ship without a rudder. It's drifting.
It's just drifting.
Aimlessly. Yeah.
It might move.
But it's not going to get where it needs to go.
But it's not going to reach its destination.
That's a great point.
So as we cultivate this momentum, it's so essential to keep our why in mind.
Our why, yeah.
Our why.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
What's the point?
What do we want to achieve?
What impact do we want to make?
What kind of impact
on the world
do we want to make on the world?
That's powerful.
It is powerful.
It is.
When our actions are aligned with a deeper purpose, momentum becomes this incredible force for positive change.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
I like that.
It's about using the compound effect, not just to achieve success, but to actually live a life that is fulfilling
and has meaning
and meaningful.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Welcome back to our deep dive on the compound effect.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep exploring this.
We've covered a lot already.
We have, starting small, building momentum, aligning our actions with purpose.
Right, and now I was going to dig into something Hardy really emphasizes.
Oh, what's that?
The power of our input.
Input, okay.
But we're feeding our minds and bodies.
Yeah.
Why is that so important in this whole compound effect thing?
Well, Hardy uses this analogy of garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
What we consume,
it
directly impacts us.
It affects our thoughts, our feelings.
Our actions.
Everything.
It all starts with what we put in.
So, like, if we're always surrounded by negativity.
Yeah, think about it.
The news, social media.
Even the people we hang out with.
Exactly.
If it's all negative all the time,
it's going to bring us down.
It will.
It's like
trying to run a car on bad fuel.
It's not going to run very well.
You're not going to get very far.
No, you're not.
So Hardy's point is we need to be mindful
of what we're taking in.
Yeah, be selective.
Choose things that nourish us.
Things that inspire us.
So it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff.
It's about actively seeking out the good.
The good stuff.
Yeah, the things that lift us up.
And he actually suggests taking inventory.
An inventory?
Of our current input.
Oh.
Like, really look at what we're consuming.
And ask ourselves.
Yeah, ask ourselves.
Is this actually serving me?
Is this helping me?
Is this what I want to be feeding my mind?
Right. It's like taking stock.
Like a mental diet.
Yeah, a mental diet.
What are we feeding our minds?
And making sure it's nutritious.
Good stuff, not junk food.
Exactly, because it all ties back to the compound effect.
Right, it all adds up.
If we're always consuming negative stuff,
it's going to accumulate.
It's going to weigh us down.
Affect our motivation.
Yeah. Make it harder to reach our goals.
But on the flip side,
yeah,
if we're consistently taking in positive things,
uplifting content,
things that challenge us,
it's going to have a positive impact.
Compound over time.
On our mindset.
Our energy.
Our ability to achieve things.
It all starts with what we put in.
So how do we actually start curating our input?
Hardy has a two-pronged approach.
Okay, I like that.
First, reduce the negative stuff.
Like, get rid of it.
As much as possible.
Unsubscribe from those news feeds. Limit social media.
Be more selective about what we watch.
Yeah, be intentional.
I know, for me, cutting back on social media has been huge.
It can be so draining.
It's so easy to get caught up in comparison.
Negativity.
Yeah, it's a constant stream of information.
Information overload.
And not all that's good.
Definitely not.
So reducing the negative.
That's step one.
And then the second part.
Step two.
Is actively seeking out the good stuff.
The positive. The inspiring.
Reading books.
Listening to podcasts.
Spending time with people.
Who uplift us.
Who inspire us.
People who challenge us to grow.
This reminds me of mentorship.
Mentorship, yeah.
Finding people who've already achieved what we want.
Learning from their experience.
It's like having a roadmap.
A guide.
But also a source of support.
Someone to cheer you on.
Someone to cheer you on.
And it doesn't have to be formal.
Right.
You can find mentors in books.
Oh yeah, reading biographies.
Following thought leaders online.
Surrounding yourself with examples of what's possible.
It's like that saying.
Oh, which one?
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
If we want to achieve great things,
we need to be around people who are doing great things.
Who are also striving for greatness.
Who will support us along the way.
So it's not just our immediate circle.
It's everything we consume.
The books, the shows, the music.
It all shapes us.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the compound effect.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
It's really about creating a holistic approach to life.
Being mindful.
Of our choices, our habits, our inputs.
It's about understanding that small actions,
consistent actions,
coupled with a positive mindset
and a supportive environment,
can lead to incredible results.
Over time.
The compound effect is always working.
Whether we realize it or not.
So make it work for you.
So we challenge you.
Yeah, what's one small change?
One small positive change.
You can make today.
Maybe it's reading before bed.
Going for a walk.
Drinking more water, whatever it is. Commit to it.
Stick with it.
You might be surprised by the results.
And if you want to explore this further,
we highly recommend checking out The Compound Effect
by Darren Hardy.
It's a game changer.
Keep making those small choices.
The compound effect is working.
Make it work for you.